is the most spooktacular time of the year, my friends. Halloween, my favorite of favorite holidays. And today I am going to be bringing you not one, not two, not three, but 7 Dollar Tree DIYs. They're real easy, real cheap, real fun, and real festive. And in case you're new here, I'm Rachel, the blogger behind theconfusedmillennial.com, and let us get into our DIYs. First up are our Halloween mugs for our Witch's Brew. For this DIY, you are going to want to pick up an extra fine point Sharpie marker from the Dollar Tree, as well as a few ceramic mugs. Quick side note, you can do this with literally any of the ceramic tableware, so the mugs, plates, bowls, whatever. And what we're going to be doing is simply choosing a few designs, whether that is Jack Skellington's face, a jack-o'-lantern face, or some fun creepy sayings like eek, hocus pocus, whatever, and just drawing that onto our ceramic surface. For this, I went with a white mug and an orange mug, and don't worry about messing up, because if you do, all you have to do is grab a wet paper towel and wipe your surface clean. What we're going to be doing is actually setting these designs on permanently to the ceramic surface by going to our oven, placing our mugs in there while it's cold, turning the oven on to 350 degrees and baking for 30 minutes. You can throw these into the dishwasher, you can wash them by hand, and they will stay on wonderfully. If you're nervous, you can always do that baking round a second time to really set your design in, but the first round should be more than enough for most designs. Next up, we have our spooky bat attack, and this is probably one of the simplest DIYs with the biggest impact. All you're gonna need is a piece of black poster board from the Dollar Tree, a pencil, and a scissor, and then you can either choose to freehand your bats or Google bat stencil and just print something out offline, which is what I did here. And it's a little time consuming. Definitely recommend putting on some good Halloween movies in the background. If you're looking for some new ones, I have a list with over 100 of them. I'll link in the description box below. When you're done, you're going to want to grab some double-sided tape or just regular tape and make a little loop out of it, and go ahead and put these up your wall, onto your ceiling, really wherever, and they make such a sweeping impact. We're going to be doing these around our TV and up on our fireplace, maybe even up to our ceiling. And for such a simple thing, it literally costs like $1, not even, because the poster board's actually less than $1. It creates a wow effect. Next up is our spooktacular skull tower, and I'm obsessed with this. At the Dollar Tree, you're gonna wanna get 4 skulls, a plunger, their black creepy cloth, and then totally optional is a hot glue gun and hot glue sticks. At home, you're gonna wanna get a knife or scissor, and then stop by your local hardware store for some black glossy spray paint. And this is pretty simple. All you're gonna do is use your plunger as your totem pole, meaning you are going to go ahead and cut an X at the bottom and top of 3 of your skulls. And then your 4th skull, you'll only cut an X at the base. That's gonna be your top one. One quick note here with using the plunger, and where I say the hot glue gun is optional. You can hot glue gun your skeleton heads in place for a really strong hold. I didn't do this because I personally liked having the option of being able to wiggle these around, change up their look in the future. With that said, I would highly recommend, before assembling your tower, spray painting the wooden stick of your plunger first. I did not do that, and I do have some slight regrets, because even when my skeleton heads move a millimeter, the wood is showing through. Once your skeleton head is fully assembled, you'll go ahead outside, spray paint it all black with your high gloss spray paint. Quick tip on using spray paint, make sure to leave it outside for about 30 minutes before you go to spray it on, so it can acclimate to the temperature. Otherwise, you are going to get kind of like a bubbling finish, which we obviously don't want, especially when working with a glossy finish like we are here. Now, you do not need to spray paint the rubber part of the plunger, the red area. As you can see, when we cover it with our creepy black cloth, it is not visible at all. However, if you do choose to spray paint it black, please keep in mind that it will not fully dry ever. While that is great because it does create this kind of tacky finish, so the black creepy cloth does adhere to it and stick to it really well, it is kind of a con, because obviously if you get even a little bit of a drip on the underside, it will leave paint marks behind wherever it touches, which is why I am assembling it on a paper plate. Even with my mess ups of not spray painting the wooden handle and spray painting the bottom part of the plunger, I have to say this came out absolutely amazing. I can't wait to put one of these at my front door and also around my fireplace. Next up is our creepy candelabra. So you're gonna pick up a pack of 12 plastic cups at the Dollar Tree, a couple of white pillar candles, and a red candle, any shape or any size, some matches or a lighter if you don't already have on hand, as well as the hot glue gun and glue sticks. The skeleton garland is totally optional, and we will be reusing our glossy black spray paint from earlier. Head outside to spray paint an even number of plastic cups using the black spray paint, and while those are drying, you'll head back inside and take your red candle, which has hopefully been burning and getting real melty, and pour it all over the tops of the white pillar candles. I like to just pour over the top and allow the red wax to naturally melt over the sides. By creating a really thick layer up top, when you go to burn this candle, it will continue to melt more and more of the red down the side, really giving the effect of the candle bleeding. Once your cups are dry, you'll go ahead, get your hot glue gun, and just put a really thick layer of glue around the inner rim here. Once you have, probably go around it like 2 or 3 times, go ahead and just attach the 2 bases together, and voila, you have your candle holder, which will catch all of your bloody wax. Next up are our Apothecary Jars. For this, you're going to want to get any type of glass jar from the Dollar Tree. I opted for the tall ones that have some cork. I like the detailing that already existed, but you can go with more of a wide mouth base as well. You're going to just want to make sure you distress the glass. There's kind of 2 methods to go about this. Number 1 is sanding, which I'm doing here using a 100 grit piece of sandpaper I already had at home. It's a medium grit. It really sanded things up pretty quickly. You want to make sure to go in a bunch of different directions, not just vertical. The other option for distressing your glass is to use some glue, or you can do a hybrid of the 2 as well. As far as the glue, you can pick up some tacky glue or Mod Podge at the Dollar Tree, and you'll just want to drip some on, paint some on using foam brushes, whatever really. And if your glue starts to look a little too perfect, you can always use some sandpaper or a paper towel to give it a little bit more texture. Keep in mind that while the glue will go on white, it will dry clear. Next, you're going to want to fill your jars. Basically, grab some food coloring, fill them with water. I opted for red and green just for the bloody and kind of like, I don't know, green reminds me of goblins and ghouls effect. And again, if you are using a wider mouth, mine are pretty thin, I can't really fit anything else in there, but if you are using a wider mouth, you can fill it with some eyeballs, some brains, really some grapes, whatever you have on hand to kind of make it look like there's different specimens in your jar. And there's also tons of printouts online if you want to go ahead and put labels on your jars as well. Next are our creepy bouquets, where all you're gonna need are a couple of vases from the Dollar Tree, and then you will go outside and get a couple of dead tree branches. It is that simple, my friends. If you want, you can always distress the glass like we did with the Apothecary Jars, but I really like how simple and natural these are. You can always touch them up with cobwebs, spiders, and whatever else you find at the Dollar Tree. Next up are our spooky skeleton garland. When you're at the Dollar Tree, you can pick up some Christmas tree lights. I already had this box on hand. They also come in orange and purple lights this time of year. You'll also want to pick up a couple of bags of these small skeleton heads and a scissor if you don't already have one. Much like earlier with our skeleton heads, you're just going to cut an X into each of these heads. If you plan to hang the garland, cut the X at the top of the head, and if you plan to display the garland like on a tabletop or on top of a mantle where it's sitting on a surface, you'll want to cut the X's at the bottom of the head. Next, it's really simple. You'll just pop a skeleton head over each light, creating a spooky little effect. I got this one from my friend Callie at But First Coffee last year and totally fell in love with it. If you haven't checked out her channel yet, I will leave a link to it in the description box. She has tons of Dollar Tree DIYs, including 3 Halloween videos, so make sure to go over there next. And no video is complete without an appearance from our little moon. I saw this at the Dollar Tree and I had to get it. I went on to Amazon, got this super cute onesie. I'll link it below. And I mean, come on, how cute is this setup for our under $10 kid costume? Make sure to hit that notification and subscribe button, because next week I'm going to be bringing you my fireplace makeover. So if you love this DIY, next week is like a DIY on steroids. Our fireplace was really old, really outdated, and we have brought it up to date. We refinished the brick, the mantle, the hearth. We did it all ourselves and all on a budget. So you won't want to miss that episode. And then the week after that, I'm going to be showing you how I'm taking all of these Dollar Tree DIYs and styling them around our fireplace. And thank you guys so much for joining me. Make sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends that love Halloween and love budget-friendly decor hacks. Until next time, I'm Rachel, the blogger behind the Confused Millennial.